Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Young Pros Talk podcast. This is the highly anticipated and hopefully patiently awaited part 2 of episode 2, Dating as a Young Professional. In this portion, we continue our dating discussion. I describe some of my experiences. Ian has a revelation that he gladly shares with the rest of us and the ladies love. And we also talk about how you can identify when you're on a date. And I get my favorite question answered. If a woman asks a man on a date, should the man still be expected to pay? I wonder. Anyways, we talk about that, plus much more. So, without further ado, here is episode 2, part 2, Dating as a Young Professional. Check it out.
Yeah, so that was just a really weird experience for me, and it was an event.
Of course it was. Because you were thrown in a loop there, you know? Because you went to a dating event and you were expecting that kind of reaction. But the truth is, she might just not be that into you.
No, I agree with that.
Sorry, I just wanted to lay that in there as an option. Because sometimes we forget that. We play all these games and then sometimes it's good to just be like, wait, maybe she just didn't like me and that's why.
Well, honestly, like I said, I forgot about her the next day. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because of this. I thought about it just having this conversation. Honestly, I haven't thought about it all year, except for, obviously, after I told friends. Even I told a lot of women that story, and they were like, what? Yeah. Really? You know? And so, that was a weird experience for me because it wasn't the wrong... Because it's always about doing something like that in the right environment, right? And so, that's the environment where it's supposed to be socially acceptable to attempt to get to know a new woman for maybe a romantic purpose, you know? And it didn't work out like that. Mm-hmm. Mind you, there were more women to men at this event.
And we thought that was going to be a good thing. We thought that's a good ratio thing, but we're realizing
it's not, because
you
need plenty of men, because I realized after that event that when there aren't a lot of men there that women find attractive, the few men there, it actually diminishes their value. So you're not as attractive as maybe you could have been if there were like a swarm of good-looking guys.
Like they call that the cheerleader effect. Guys will be better looking if there's a bunch of them in a large group.
Yeah, true. I mean, so
I think you could use it for men the way men use it for women sometimes. Right?
But it didn't work out that well. I mean, I did end up meeting a couple of nice ladies that I talked to after the event, and we all didn't like that because it wasn't a good event in general, you know, because it's kind of hard to have like a singles and entrepreneurs event mixed in one.
So is it worth bringing up with someone? What are you looking for? Is it worth ever bringing that up early in a conversation when you're getting to know someone, what they're looking for in terms of a relationship? Or is that too presumptuous and that's everyone's own personal business? Should we be asking people if they're looking for relationships or something along those lines? We should be?
Yes.
I don't know. I think that usually ends in failure more than it does in success.
It does look a little bit desperate when you do start asking people about their...
Yeah,
so when you're looking
not the first time. Yeah, but you have conversation. You're really nice. You know, I'm backing up the nice girl because yes, we're all nice, and it's fun. It's fine to be nice and stuff like that. But then you have a good conversation. Then you pop the question. So
what question are you talking about popping over here?
So not the marriage question.
No, not the marriage question. Just
that shouldn't even be in the conversation.
Sorry.
I like to pop that one on the first date just to check the reaction.
I dare you.
Yeah, and then I hold it like I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And then I get pegged as the creepy dude.
Yeah.
See, it's really easy to not be the creepy dude, but play it wrong and look like one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an experience. But based off of that, I always hear women. I've talked to a lot of women about this before. And a lot of women were like, don't come talk to me at a club. I'm not there for that. Don't come talk to me at a networking event. I'm not there for that. So if you don't want to meet somebody for a romantic interest at work or you want to date somebody outside of your friend zone, where is an appropriate place to meet somebody?
I don't think, because maybe it's just me, but I feel like, particularly in Toronto, those type of events are where people like to meet people. Like,
what do you mean?
Those like kind of social events where it's networking and like the club or whatever. I think people say, oh, they're not there to meet someone, but I don't know. Like,
so if you hear that line at an event, should you run because that person is clearly putting up a front of some kind and they're not being like, you'd think they would be genuine. You'd think you'd want them to say, yeah, I'm here to meet people. And the moment you hear anything different from that, you'd start to get a bad vibe. I wouldn't really want to talk to someone who has that kind of attitude.
Exactly. Like, if you're at a particularly networking, okay, maybe not dating, but I don't know. I just feel like, because maybe I've been in Toronto for a really long time, like, it's kind of like an unwritten rule, like, you know, you don't just talk to people in the street. It's just like people don't do that. But like, where people feel comfortable in these type of kind of made social events, whether it's networking or someone's birthday party, where those are areas where people can talk and they're more free to maybe ask someone out or whatever. So I think it really depends on the person. But
well, I think where an issue arises for that is because everybody's always looking for love, right? And everybody's looking for the one. Yet they'll eliminate people based on where they met them. And so, like, when that girl told me, oh, I'm not meeting somebody at a networking event today, for me, I think it's actually one of the best places to meet somebody today because we're young professionals, right? One. Two, they're more than likely educated, more than likely are very career-oriented because it's a networking event. You know, it's not for ex-cons or something to meet
ex-cons. They should have relationships. Right? But no, I know what you mean, and that's why I would be a little bit hesitant to talk to that person, because I think if that person was genuinely looking to ultimately meet someone, they should be open to meeting anyone at that networking event that you're at. And that should never be words that come out of their mouth, because then they're already limiting themselves. You can see them putting up a barrier around themselves.
Well, I feel like that's what I feel like a lot of Toronto women will do. A lot of them, because the stat may be wrong, it's not confirmed, but I feel like Toronto probably has a higher singles rate than like any other big city as far as population density. You know, and you have all of these people, and you talk to them, and they're like, I'm just looking for the one, I'm looking for that person, I will only meet them at these one of three places. You know, like, I'm not going to meet you at the street, walking up the street. I'm not going to meet you at a club. I'm not going to meet you at a networking event. When that's like the perfect opportunity to meet people. And then you don't know, like, you never know what might happen if you meet somebody at a networking event. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, because we're all we're not university age students anymore. You know, we're at a place now where if we want to date somebody, we want someone who can obviously be able to make us better people and vice versa. You know what I mean? We're not just looking for the fling that, you know, you're looking for somebody real who has ambition and has goals. You know, and so, like, where's the best place to meet somebody? It's probably not the club. You already know what you want from there, right? But networking events are, I think, the best, to be honest with you, for the young professional demographic.
I agree. I think we just prejudge a lot, and then that's where our problem is the barrier, and just having that block and, you know, keeping that in the mind so it doesn't open you to opportunities. So,
well, because I think, why not? You know, like,
it's probably it is.
You never know, like, because mind you, I met Ian and I work together, but I met you guys at a networking event. You guys are amazing people, and I probably wouldn't have met you guys in any other setting. No, you know what I mean. So what was I supposed to be like? You know,
that's true.
So this is a networking event, because I get this a lot. You know, you're not supposed to make friends at a networking event. I'm like, why not? You know.
But who are you speaking to? Because like,
that person's stuff.
I do really think, Red, that you're talking to a lot of cynical women that are like. It sounds like they're using all their lines that they can. Kind of like.
I will be honest. This was just one woman. It wasn't a bunch of.
Oh my god!
It wasn't.
So like. Basically, we didn't just argue with you. We just argued, like, we were just arguing with this girl that you went out with, and I would have liked to know
No,
that and I would have had some like sharper responses there and been shutting you down the way I would have shut her down in real life.
I didn't meet her. What happened was a friend invited me to an event she was having at her place, and dating is always a hot topic. So I was wondering, and one thing she did say to me is, which I've heard from a lot of different women, was that the whole, like, when I meet women at clubs, I don't buy women drinks here. Mm-hmm. And I've heard women say, they said it just like this, these are not my words, but, you know, when Toronto guys buy a woman a drink, they expect you to, like, just suck their dick right there. And I was like,
really? That's low standard.
And I was just like, so how do they do this? Do they
that's bad experience.
Do they just pull it out right there and was like, I bought you a drink, and now, you know, like, okay, like what is that? Where does that expectation come from?
Bad experience.
Those bad experiences with bad.
I think some guys just want to start a conversation. It's not like they want you to sleep with them right away.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I understand. Like, I understand where she's coming from. That it's wrong to do something for somebody and expect some type of sexual favor after it. But I mean, if I buy you a drink and you accept it, you can at least talk to me, right? Like, we can at least have a conversation. And then I'm always thinking, like, how did this come up where you even bought the woman the drink, right? Like, did you, like, I don't feel like you just bought a drink and she was like, okay, thank you. Like, either it's like, can I buy you a drink? And they're like, no, it's okay. Or
yeah, I think that's why I avoid buying drinks for a woman that I've met physically at that bar. Like, I then always kind of felt like a chump if I'm like, hey, want a drink? And then we have a drink in a 5-minute conversation, and then she kind of leaves. Like, it was great that we got to talk, but, like, I'm not there
at
to
the expense
buy
of
her drinks. Right. But then I was even thinking on the way here, I was like, is it unfair that guys have this expectation to foot the bill? And I'm always like, yeah, I think it is a little bit. Like, up until now, I've thought, no, this
going too far, sir.
I'm jumping. I'm going there. Up until now, I thought, no, it is unfair. Like, guys shouldn't always have to do it. But women put more money into dating in general. Really? Women have
gotta buy a dress.
They've got to get a dress.
You don't have to buy.
You
can wear the dress.
They do makeup. They do the waxing. They do this. They do that. And like that bill is long. Guys show up and yes, pay for the food and the drinks, and it's pretty equal. Even when guys pull up, and I hadn't thought of this until recently because I was always focusing on the guy's bill because the guy's bill on the physical date always higher, and it should be, but I didn't think it would, and then the girl would be like, look at her pre-date bill. It's all the other things, and guys, you should be that is a fair trade. Anytime, I'll take that trade anytime. Yeah. Oh my God. That's an open clap worthy. Yes. So that's my new revelation. It's like that is why dating is even now.
So since Ian is just jumping all over the place now.
Sorry, did I hop a question?
So
I just wanted to share it because it's a recent revelation.
So all right. So let's just So let's talk.
That being said, can we continue?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, that being said, if she doesn't wax, that's okay too. Even if that's not one of her expenses before. There's a lot of expectation there that like everything has to be clean shaven. That's cool too. That can be negotiated early, or does it? Actually, that shouldn't be negotiated. That's up to her. That's not a negotiation.
That's something to discuss later on in the relationship.
Did I skip a couple more questions? Yes. Okay. Sorry, Ed.
Let's just go on Ian's path since he's just riding it the way he wants to ride the wave right now. So, ladies, start with you guys. If a woman asks a man on a date, should the man still be expected to pay for the date?
No.
All right, that answers my question. Next question.
But the guy better be getting his dress before. He better be getting his makeup done, and he better be paying the pre-date bill himself. Amen. If she's gonna be putting up.
But I have a feeling the guy probably would pay anyways.
Yeah. If he offered, I would say let's split the bill.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, I just feel like a lot of women have this expectation that no matter what the circumstances are, and a lot of this is from generations instilling this type of mentality into us, that the man should always pay.
Not for me.
No.
Not for us.
Regardless.
Okay, what about when a guy
let's say he grabs the bill, he looks at the bill, he like goes to pay, and then he's like, "Can you help me pay the tip?"
I'd be a little bit.
This is the first thing.
Or if I've had situations where I look at the bill and then I like go to pay, and then she's like, "Can I help?" And then I'm like, "You can pay the tip."
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Then I'm like,
I've
she's
done-
grabbing her, and then it feels like she didn't get shut down. It wasn't like this whole conversation would be like, no, I got this. And she's like, no, seriously, I'll do it. And I'm like, no, I got this. Like, you can just end it there by being like, yeah, you can, like,
I think
Well, once you say, no, I got this, I'm like, okay, sure.
of course. So,
because to be fair, some of this is just a game. Like,
Yeah, it's like,
I know it's a game. And I'm calling you out on that game being like,
what's the
oh yeah, you
appropriate
grabbed your
time
wallet,
to be
actually, I'll
like,
split it.
like, how many times should you do that before it's okay to let her do it? Because I feel like if a woman's like, I got it, and you're
With
like,
a
cool,
unique-
she'll
with a
go back to her
unique woman?
girlfriend. Did you not realize he didn't even let me see if he would pay the bill? He was just like waiting to it.
To be fair, the first date, like, I know it's kind of stupid, but I would suggest for guys, the first date, just
cover everything.
Yeah, cover.
Yeah, just cover everything. And then,
Dates after that,
My
it's fine.
previous example of women and men's expenses.
yeah.
Like, all the dates after that, then I think it's cool to do whatever.
Yeah, just
but
be like,
first date, I think just generally,
Yeah. Don't
Just-
accept any
yeah.
offers.
Even if the woman
Don't
asks the
accept
man
any
out?
offers.
Don't accept any offers, huh?
Even if the woman asks the man out?
if the
If the woman asks the man out, she should be expected to pay.
Yeah.
That's just out of pure
We've
mannerism.
been
Yeah.
over this, though. This doesn't
But-
happen in Toronto.
But
so-
if you're dating
That's true.
a gold digger, but you know,
Because
dating a
I
nice
just
girl.
asked that, like, well, because I've had a couple experiences in Toronto, right?
Mm.
Fucking Moxies. I cannot take anybody to Moxies anymore. Okay, no more Moxies.
Gotta clean your
But
pockets.
What
What are you doing going to Moxie's?
So I met a woman at a networking event. So this has happened twice to me. It's my experience. I met a woman at a networking event, and we were cool. We connected. We exchanged numbers, and now we were talking about like getting together, linking up. I was like, cool. I like to connect with you. Like we both had this. Let's just connect. And in my head, when I first meet somebody, it's like to connect, right? So.
Sorry, I just want to hold up on that word for a sec. What do you deem as connecting with a woman?
So connecting for me is like usually I do coffee, and in these instances, I was like, let's do Mox because I was going. She lived in Mississauga. I was like, I'll come all the way to Mississauga. This is after work, and this is after work, and I knew that after work, since I'm traveling so far from where I'm staying,
No man's land.
that it was gonna be I was gonna be hungry, right? So I didn't know a lot. We met at Square One. I don't know a lot of places at Square One, so I just said let's do Moxie's because I knew I was gonna eat, and she's okay with Moxie's. So we went to Moxie's. We had a good time, whatever, and then it came to the bill. The bill came, right, and she said, "Oh, you have to pay," and I was like, "Whoa, time out. Sorry." Why? She's like, because you asked me out, and on a first date, you should pay. And I was like, this is a date? Hold on, no. And we literally argued about who should pay for like 10 minutes.
I'm just shaking my head, just so you know.
What was your final point in saying that you shouldn't have to pay? Was that this was not a date, right? Because maybe she had a point if it was a date, and if you were going to continue to see her.
Yeah, but
you would have been prepared.
The way I didn't expect it to be a date. I think partially it was my fault for failing because I picked Moxie's because I didn't know a lot of places at Square One Mall. Right?
Yeah, who hangs out in Mississauga? I get it.
So I was like, I don't know any place. And so when part of the argument was like, she was like, you picked Moxie's, you could have picked the coffee shop or something. And I was like, you said yes, you could have said no and suggested somewhere else.
So she figured that because you went to Moxie's, it was there for a date, and that because it was a date, you had asked her on a date, and because you had asked her on a date, you were going to pay. That was her theory?
Apparently so, yeah. So after all of this back and forth bickering we did, and I was like, fine, I'm just going to pay. One, because I wanted the RBC rewards points on my card anyways. And two, because it was just not going to end, never end. And then when we were arguing, and then it was all done, I'm about to pay. Then she was like, we can split if you want to. And I was like,
after all that?
Because when I made a face when I looked at the bill. So the bill came to about $65. And I looked at the bill, I was like, God damn. Because I hadn't budgeted to pay that much. I budgeted to pay like $20 for my meal, $25. And it came to like $65. That's before tip. So I still had the tip. And she was like, you want to split it? And I'm like, I don't even care anymore. Like, at that point, I was like,
at that point, the whole friendship is over. Yeah, whatever was there is gone.
So,
but moral of the story, maybe don't go to Moxie's. Yeah.
So, but this is my second experience, right? So I went to Moxie's again.
Okay.
With another woman, right?
Right, are we learning now?
Well, you know what they say, fool me once. Whatever Bush said, I don't remember. So I went to Moxie's again. I met another woman at a networking event. She was cool. She was nice. She was from a different cultural background than myself, and I was interested in learning more about that background. And so we met at Moxie's at Fairview Mall. And the reason I did Moxie's that time, she was like, let's meet at the food court. And I was like, the food court's loud. I want to be able to,
food courts.
Yeah, I want to be able to, like, hear you talk, get into whatever. And so we were, we went to Moxie's. It was cool. We were having a good time. We were talking, blah, 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 blah. I was interested in, like I said, culturally. So I asked her stuff like, if I was ever to be invited to dinner, is there something I should bring? Like, what's the cultural tradition? Just so, like, I want to know in case I'm ever in that situation. And so we're talking, we're having a good time. And then she makes a comment about guys, what most women always say. I always feel like when guys meet me, they want to take me out or date me. I was like, uh-oh, I think I know where this is going. And so then she's like, so after talking a little bit, in the middle of like us talking, she's like, so I just want to clear the air. There's no chance of you dating me.
Super subtle.
And I was like, wait, I was just like, is it Moxie's? Is it because of Moxie's? I wasn't looking to date you. Like, I really wanted to, no, like that wasn't the case. And then she started, I was like, we just met, I just wasn't really to that. She's like, I just had to make sure that the air was cleared because, guys seem to always want to, like, she pretty much put herself out there like she was hot shit. Yeah, like, guys are always after her. And I was like, mind you, she wasn't an attractive woman. But I was just like, in my mind, I was like, you're a cool person. I just want to get to know you as a friend. Like, I don't care about all of that, right? So then it came time for the bill. And then when the bill came, she was like, is it okay if I pay my bill? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not thinking nothing of it. Then she starts acting really strange. She's like, are we good? We're good, right? The air is clear. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about anymore. What you're talking about? And then she finally tells me, she was like, no, I didn't know if you were okay with me paying. Because most guys are like, I still want to pay the bill. And I was like, no, absolutely, you can pay the bill.
She's living a pretty privileged life where she breaks it halfway through a date that's not a date thing. Oh, they just happen to pay either way. And
so, I mean, her bill wasn't much. Her bill was like, all she had was like some potatoes, like some
French fries.
Yeah, sweet potato fries.
That's a good choice. If I'm getting one small thing, I'm getting sweet potato fries.
Mm-hmm. Right. So she got sweet potato fries and that was
a glass of water.
She apparently she was sick, so she was drinking hot water with lemon. And so so I only drank water,
diet tea.
Great. So I was like, this is weird. So now I'm like, it's kind of hard. And so when I met with somebody else at Square One, and that was a woman, I had to make sure I was like, aroma espresso. We're not doing no more Moxies.
Now you've learned that.
No more Moxies because I think it's just dinner.
Red, so I'm sensing a bigger issue here.
All right, what is the bigger issue?
The bottom line is, like, what did you think about these women?
What do you mean?
Did you want to date either of these women?
I did not. Okay. I had no intention of dating either of them.
Okay, like, let's remove the whole conversation about whether or not you were going to date them. Like, let's say on both of those dates, it never came up that you wanted to date them. It never came up who was paying the bill.
Mm-hmm.
None of this like relationshipy stuff came up.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have wanted to go out with either of them again?
So for me, it's always about what that first experience is like before it's like an actual date. Now, if I go out with them and then I find some romantic interest with them, which is actually very rare, to be honest with you, I'll ask them out. But if they say no, but if I just meet you at a networking event, my first initial contact with you outside of the networking event is not to try to date you.
It's just to get to know you.
It's just to get to know you, fill you out. I don't know if I even like you as a person, really. Yeah. So I'm not gonna try to date you.
I feel you.
Right.
Red's deep. He actually has
Not everybody's like that, though.
Exactly.
And I think, I have to question some of the women that you're always taking on these, because some of them seem
I got to question the women I take out of places.
Seem very extra. And yeah, that's, I think, like I was saying, like, there's something about dinner that automatically kind of screams date for some people. So if you are going to, like, that's just how it is. Like, if someone says, hey, let's go to, like, Moxie's, I would automatically subconsciously think, like, oh, this might be a date.
Yeah,
I would not argue about
pants
the
for that. It's a
bill.
date, like nice pants, like
yeah.
nice pants.
And then I hope so.
Well, I mean, I just, that was an experience for me. Mind you, I didn't do in Detroit. I didn't do a whole lot of dating because I was with somebody for a long time. So like it was always black and white, it was already cut.
It's black and white for me now because I have my group of female friends. So I'm not looking for I'm just generally not intending to go look for female friends.
But you know what? It's crazy because I
don't know. I mean, I still make them.
But I think it depends on the woman too, though, because I went out with a girl that I met at this networking event, and we had dinner, and it was just like friends, right? Like we had dinner, we had drinks, we had dessert, and it was like, we're cool. It was understood that this was not a date. Like, we knew, because it was like, yo, I would like to connect with you. Like, we even exchanged numbers. It wasn't even, oh no, I think I emailed her first.
But Red, what scenario are a man and a woman, a single man and a woman, meeting up in public on their own, getting to know each other, where it's not a date?
Like the experience I just told you about.
No, but it doesn't happen that.
I understand it doesn't happen, but I'm saying I'm basing it off like before I went out with these women to Moxie's, I went to Joyce with this one woman, and it wasn't a date.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So, and even she told me, because I usually was like, hey, when I email people, I was like, yo, it'd be great to get coffee sometime, and connect. She was like, stop telling people let's get coffee, let's get drinks, we're adults, people. It's like, cool. So then that's what I started to do, and then it kind of backfired on me. So,
but I think now I'm sensing something different.
I understand what you're sensing.
Can you help me understand what you're sensing? What's the spidey sense telling you?
Well, I'm almost sensing that the girl who wanted you to go to drinks with her maybe wanted to go on a date with you, and all those girls,
the ones that wanted me to pay.
No. The one who you suggested coffee and wanted to go to drinks. Which is a third woman, I think you're referring to?
The first one?
This is the third one I'm telling you guys about, but it's the first one that we went to dinner with.
Oh, okay. Oh. At Moxie's.
And how did that end?
At Joey. We're friends. We're cool.
Right. Okay. So let's say that's a good example where things worked out well. It started with you asking her to coffee. Then she was the one who was able to elevate it up to a date on her own, making her the one that made the decision to make it more than something it was. And then in that sense, she had the autonomy, and that's why she felt more comfortable with it, and that's likely why it ended up better. With these other women, you made the leap yourself because you'd felt comfortable with that first one who had invited you up to the level of taking them out on a date. These other two women, they weren't ready for that date, and they were both very forward types of people, which are the type of people you get in networking events, and that's why you met these type of people, and that's why they shared that with you on that first date when you went and took them to drinks. Really, neither of them wanted to date you at that time, and they felt that they had to voice that because they were in a situation that was very similar to a date.
Which women? No,
the two.
Which two? The two Moxie's girls.
Yeah. And that's why Moxie's, that's a bad rap.
The Moxie's one.
But it's kind of a weird coincidence. But just, no more Moxie's. Especially if you're not sure if they're going to think it's a date.
Stick with coffee. Honestly, if someone says,
like I said, that wasn't a learning experience for me. Because, like I said, I don't ask people out. Like, all of us, Allison went, on a walk. So it kind of sounds very romantic, but
on the boardwalk.
Okay, and at that time, had you established that it wasn't a date?
I feel like we did, yeah.
How quickly did you two establish that you weren't dating?
It's a very good question.
Do you wanna...
I don't know. So what happened? What happened with Alice?
Maybe there's no one.
I was like, it has not been established.
It was just in the air. It was just in the air.
I don't think
it was just in the air.
Yeah, like no, like I feel like.
Well, she's taller than me, so you already know how.
We established that.
You know, you can't be short,
and we
dark,
already,
and handsome.
And we always talked about like interests and like other people and stuff like that.
Mind you, we actually had
a friend relationship already.
So,
but here's the thing:
it's turning on you.
You can establish a really close relationship with someone of the opposite sex, and they can become your best friend. And you're like, oh yeah, of course we're friends. We talk about each other's relationships with other people, but in reality, you could just be learning that other person has the capacity to love other people, and you love that about them, and you just want to get to know that about them. So you're not like, so just because
ruining like all these male friendships that I have.
Just because you found a friend that like you're talking to in that level, and because you're not writing them off just because you have certain types of conversations with them, because that actually should be a sign that you have a stronger relationship than you thought.
Because friends first.
Friends first.
Well,
wow.
That's
homies before
roommates.
Well, wow, Ian.
I know.
He's like,
he's like
that was hey, you should take over the hosting of this podcast now, man.
No, you're the host. You ask the enlightening questions, and you just light us up. You bring the best out of us.
Well, thank you, Ian. It's going to be great to see you on Monday at work now.
Yeah, I told you worse at work. Don't play me like that. You've heard the bottom of the barrel of my stories.
So that was interesting. But anyways, to go back, I'm the type of person where, like I said, I got to get a feel for you. So Allison, the way it worked out with her and I was we connected. Usually, honestly, I connect with people pretty much like I can feel it instantaneously. It was the same with Emma when we first met. Same with Allison, and Allison actually reached out to me. And we connected, and then we actually had a phone conversation before we actually went out. Mm-hmm. Right. So, and then it was like, let's just do something. And we didn't know what to do, really, which is why we just ended up walking on the boardwalk. You know, but
that's admirable, though.
Harborfront, actually.
I actually wish I could take more casual, like, no plan to the date kind of dates. And just walk.
You're making it sound like a date.
But it wasn't a date.
Oh, right. Not a date.
It wasn't a date.
I'm using that term loosely. When two people get together and share the same space.
But
whatever you call that. What is it before a date?
But I think...
Hang out.
No, you hate that word.
I hate that word when you're interested in some... Okay, yes.
Yeah, get it out of the context and into one you like. I don't think so.
Okay.
So, but I guess this is a very good question to go into then. How do you know when you're on a date? Or how do you know when it's been established as a date? Because a lot of times...
You don't say hang out.
When you don't say right before, hey, you want to hang out? And when you get the butterflies, then you know. That's why I haven't been on a date in 20 years.
But I feel like, you know, any person that is fairly attractive can give you butterflies, even if you're just friends.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why I joke when I say I fall in love every day on the subway. I probably get like a butterfly a day.
Really?
No, I agree with you. Because we've already established that Toronto women are very beautiful. They're very...
Okay, it's been deemed a fact.
Yeah.
It's really true, actually. More beautiful women in Toronto than anywhere in Canada. And that's just statistics.
Well,
where's that coming from?
Because
where's
Toronto,
the statistical source from?
You want to hear it? I'm going to do it. Toronto has more people than anywhere else in Canada, meaning it has more women than anywhere else in Canada, meaning it has more beautiful women than anywhere else in Canada.
Okay.
That's my logic.
You're very lovely.
Now,
That's
there
good
could be
logic.
some, like, particularly hot cities that have a higher proportion, but I doubt, even if Kingston has generally hotter women than Toronto, there's still going to be more hot women in Toronto. That being said, means there's more creepy guys in Toronto than and I'm part of the problem.
You think? I mean, I don't think you're part of the problem.
I'm telling you,
That's why we're here. We're here to solve the problem
You're
right
not,
now.
but you're not. Well, based on what you're saying, you're not creepy. I don't know what you're
Clearly,
actually.
I mean,
what
but-
I'm saying is like my persona could be misconstrued in a 5-minute conversation. If I get to know someone for over an hour, they'll clue in pretty quickly that I'm not being creepy.
Yeah.
But any bit of this conversation in a 5-minute span, if someone who walked in, I could have been.
But I mean, it's true. Like, I
taken
mean,
down.
just a perfect example is you just met Allison and Emma.
I like that. Emmy.
That's so sweet. Yeah.
Emmy.
You just met Allison and Emma today. Like the last few hours we've been, prepping and doing this
not a fan.
podcast. You know. So I mean, like
they're not a fan of me.
So I mean, obviously, I think it takes more time than that 5-minute span to be like, okay, this person is not creepy. And I think what happens with a lot of Toronto guys is you meet them at the networking event. I'm talking about women. They're not creepy initially, and it's like the after effect. It's like after, like, this guy what is wrong with him? You know what I mean? So it's just it's different for each person, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I have that personality where I just get along with people in general. You know what I mean? It doesn't take long. Once I open my mouth, like once I start
what happens
talk-
when you open your
Plus, also I have that factor going for me that I'm not from Toronto, and I feel like Toronto women tend to gravitate that.
I tried to use that thing for like a year. I was like, I'm new here, show me around. And then once I'd been here a year, other girls are like, hey, you should know.
The thing but the difference is you're still Canadian though. Like I'm from the U.S.
He used that a lot.
I have to.
Yeah, she loves that one.
Yeah.
It's a good one though.
Yeah,
it works, right? Like
it does.
Do they talk about the housing crisis? Like, what do they bring up when you say Detroit?
When I met a girl on on Wednesday, she was surprised I was even able to make it across the border.
She was like, "What? Did you get stuck in Detroit?"
She
when
was
you,
like,
had to leave?
"What? How did you get here?" I was like,
border.
I was like, I actually took the train when I moved. So, but some people are shocked. They always think they know things about Detroit and then they don't know anything, so.
I don't think it's the whole Detroit. I think it's the whole American thing. Because, I seen, or maybe, I don't know if you remember my friend, but,
Which one?
In the ROM.
Oh, I forgot her name.
You guys kind of had she got really drunk and you guys were kind of had a little tiff. I don't know. But anyway, she's like,
I want to hear more.
I
don't hear enough about when Red gets into tiffs with people. It's always, Red's great.
I got into it.
Remember Minyata? She's Asian. See, you probably don't remember because whatever. But she. This is probably a few months ago. We went to the ROM, so it was another group of friends that came.
Are you talking about? She was your friend, and she was also another girl's friend, right?
Yeah,
that girl.
Yeah.
What about?
Anyway,
we didn't get into it. I don't remember that
because she was drunk, and so she felt like you guys got in a little tiff because you didn't remember. You guys, I don't know if you didn't remember her name or she didn't remember your name.
I didn't remember her name.
Yeah, and so she was so she was drunk, and so she thought that you were attacking her or whatever because she was drunk. Anyway,
what? I don't remember attacking this woman.
She was drunk.
No, don't worry. You didn't.
You didn't. She was drunk, right? So she's
you've been validated.
Yeah.
You're good.
And so she's saying that, he's so American. He's so upfront with everything. I think that's your persona. You're so because you're American. You're so outspoken.
Yeah, just heart on the sleeve kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And she probably was just like, he was saying everything he thought.
Exactly.
And I didn't want to hear it.
Well, I don't remember exactly how this situation, because this was way back in April, I think.
Well, the fact that you remember the month is amazing.
Well, because I remember it was the first. It was the first ROM for the spring.
Sure.
So.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
well, he's got the season tickets.
Yeah.
He can remember what exhibit was on, which girl he took.
ROM membership, great benefits, y'all. I love that membership. But yeah, so I don't know if we ever answered our own question.
What was the question?
How do you know when you're on a date and when it's not a date? Like, how do you establish that boundary?
But like, I also felt like that's how I am too. Like, if I know I'm not on a date, if I'm talking to this guy and then we talk about like other people or we're complaining about dating in general,
then it's not a date.
Then no, because like if we're talking about other people,
I think that should mean you found each other. The fact that
I want to counter that.
Automatically, it just means that we're friends. Like if I'm comfortable talking about other guys to you.
Well, when we first met, we talked about something that you think most people wouldn't talk about when you first meet them.
Sex, right?
Yeah.
Obviously means I was comfortable because you're like, we became instant friends.
True.
But I have had dates where we talk about sex on the first date and it leads to sex.
Good for you.
So, I'm just saying that's the other side of it.
That's a great side of it, that it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I had a point to that one too. Oh, I hate ending on that. That's not fun. Sounds like I was posting. No, there's a real.
No, I didn't. Obviously, when I met Emma, I didn't expect sex, right? So, but I just had finished reading this book that talked about sex research, and I literally finished it like an hour before we went and met for coffee. So it was kind of like
it was on your mind.
Fresh, yeah, it was fresh on my mind. But I think the difference, I think you can have a conversation about anything like sex, like me and Emma have. It's just the way you articulate what you're talking about.
Right.
And if you make sure that you don't, like, it never got erotic. You know what I mean? Like, it never got into, like, a vulgar conversation. It was very, adult-like, very mature, intellectual. Right? It was a very mature conversation. So it was, we were able to have that conversation where it wasn't creepy for her and where I was actually more comfortable talking about more of this because it wasn't like, it wasn't porn or something, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think that's the problem with the communication gap between men and women is that you can talk about anything. It's just how are you talking about these? What are you saying? How do you what verbiage are you using?
Well, that's why I think you can still talk about things like poor dating experiences on a date where I could actually feel like I'm connecting with a woman because she's talking about all the terrible guys she's recently gone out with and I'm talking about terrible recent experiences with women. I know it's a very bad way to go in on a first date, but sometimes you can relish in the fact that you both had poor first date experiences, especially if you're trying to break the ice on a first date. It's fun to talk about other first dates.
But I think there's also something else. I don't know, maybe it's just a spark that you just both
to answer your question,
it's not I obviously, because I feel like if I was going on a date, I don't think I would be talking, particularly the first date, about oh my god, guys, Toronto guys suck, blah 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 blah, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, not to a Toronto guy. You can tell.
This is why I'm unsuccessful. This is what I said. This is what I've been doing this whole time, and I want to stop after hearing what you said about no. When I talk to a guy about bad first dates, we've established we're friends. Yeah. So now I need to know. Oh shit. What's your experience?
Yeah, I think it's just about the choice of words that you use at the beginning. It's hey, do you want to hang out, chill, blah blah blah. Not Netflix and chill, but it's more of a casual feel. When you don't know, just ask. Just be so is this a date? And then if it's a no, then it's a no. If it's a yes, then dope.
I feel like that's a hard question, right? Because if we go out, right, and you ask me, is this a date? And I say yes, and you're actually,
no, but she's never gonna ask that and be oh, this is it. Red, that is
too. No, on the date you're gonna ask.
Before, yeah,
we have a phone conversation.
No, I'm okay. Even in that conversation, right?
Yes.
And you would ask if this is a date. This is a date, and then let's say yes. Is there a world where you're gonna be oh? Over the phone, who asks that and then goes, oh.
No, that's when you have to mentally prepare yourself and be okay, you either accept or reject.
Okay. But you've already said, is this a date? As though I'm going regardless, I just want to know what I'm getting into. And then the person goes, yes. You're oh, I'm stuck. All right, I'm going to make the best of it. Let's tone down the setting a little bit. Maybe not drinks.
Hang on. Okay, no, totally. Settle
I'm
down.
off my rocker right now.
See? Is this a date? Yes. Okay, just so you know, I'm not looking to date at the moment.
So it's no longer a date. Goodbye.
Dry. So you don't want to be friends with me? See, it's just all about communication. If you don't want to be friends with me, that's cool.
It's not that.
I think that's great. I don't know if a lot of people could do that.
I don't think so, but I'm encouraging you.
I don't know if.
But it's still a form of rejection, though, right? Like,
yeah, but would you rather if?
Well, I guess it is better.
You know what? Females need to grow some.
We need to grow up.
And vagina.
I guess.
Thick fallopian tubes.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but I agree. I think we need to kind of grow up.
Yeah,
and you
well, I think that's good. Now I think about it, because at least you respect my time.
Yeah,
you didn't go out with me, and then I'm thinking this is a date.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah,
I already talked
totally.
about my experiences, so it's different. But you know, and then I like, all right, cool, you know, and we can stay connected. But it depends on. But I think, because I just thought about this, I feel like a lot of people rush things though. Like, I feel like not enough people go with the flow. You know, like, people are always want to define shit like after a week of knowing each other. Are we dating? Where are we going with this? It's like, yo, just get to know each other first, and then go from there. I feel like everybody always has to define it immediately. Yeah. You know, you don't know where this is going. Like, just see, you know, and if it turns into a romantic partnership, then go from there. If not.
But I also feel like the reason why people wanted to find things, and I completely get it, some people do rush it, but people also don't want to waste time. Like, if we're in a situation where I want something serious, but you're like, I don't know, I'm in friendship, maybe, whatever. I don't want to be like finding out like 2 months from now. I don't want to figure
two people
it out.
can connect though. I think you can start with different ideas of what it was going to end up with.
Right.
So if I go into a relationship not looking for anything, and I meet someone who's looking for something serious, even if we have those different goals, if we are really meant to be, or we really do connect, I think we'll find a way. You know, like, I keep thinking that, but that's also along the argument of like, oh, it'll all happen organically. I'll meet whoever. Like, sometimes you do have to go seek out people who are looking for similar situations, or like put yourself in environments that would, you know, suit you finding someone.
Yeah.
But
every situation's different.
Yeah.
You just have to use your gut instinct.
So, Red, your podcast is kind of, you know, there's really no material in there, because you're saying, like, it's situation by situation. Yeah. So
you could delete everything that we said.
Give me a hypothetical, and I will tell you whether or not it's a date and how it's going. If you want to just
my entire podcast, or just the question? Because I mean,
no, just
because if this is the entire podcast,
just
I need
everything
to
I
rethink
said.
what I was doing. Then,
we'll have to play it back.
Yep.
I guess we will. So, I just want to know though, can you go on a date with somebody and split bills and still be a date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the second or third date.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm thinking.
That was
not a first date.
Not a first date, especially if the guy.
I gotta pay the first one.
Yeah, and whenever you're thinking in your head, why am I paying for this first date? Just think about our equation.
Because I just thought of another question.
That's also for me means friendship too. If we're splitting it, I would automatically go, okay.
Yeah, we're not.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. So what's
on a first date?
On a first date, yeah.
Okay.
No, on a first date.
Well, I should be taking notes. No one took notes. Oh, I guess the notes are in the podcast.
Yes, the notes are in the podcast.
We'll send you a copy.
There's playback. Good. I'm glad we took notes.
So, what do you guys consider to be a good first date? Not like what happens on a date, like where the date takes place. Because I feel like movies is whack. To be honest with you, like there's no way. Mind you, I'm a movie person, so like if you're trying to get to know me while a movie's playing, I really don't want you to talk.
You're whispering in my ear, asking me about my family.
I think
I'm trying to watch Captain America.
I think dinner is cliche. So like, should people be finding more creative things to do on first dates? And what do you guys think are some good things to do on a first date?
I'm the worst at this. This is...
It doesn't have to be expensive. Like, it's true, because, like, movies are not a good idea, because you can't really talk. Dinner, I guess, could be cliche.
You should go skating.
Ice skating?
Ice skating, because it's always cute if you're bad at it and impressive if you're better than her.
Unless it's the summer and there's no ice.
All right, so we got, but like in the summer, then picnic in the summer.
Aww. On a first date.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I actually,
I recently went on a picnic for a first date, and then like 3/4 into the date, remembered that she was a lesbian. And I genuinely mean this.
You thought it was gonna be a date?
We were friends in university, and then we connected over some media like recently, and I got in my head that when we went to hang out, now that we'd reconnected, it was a date, and I'd completely forgotten that she was into girls. Like I don't know. It just
or is that the reason you went on a date with her anyways? Because she was into girls.
that would have been the old Ian, okay? That's the old Ian.
The old Ian, okay.
Had some, yeah. No, but then when I realized it, I was like, oh, well, that was just the nicest picnic I could have had on Friday. So we just had a really nice picnic, and then I realized, okay, well, that was great practice for dating picnics, because, I mean, this wasn't a real date. But now I realize, now I can do this. I can go on a first date picnic because all this pressure was off her. Like, I don't know. It was weird because, like, it's weird to think that, like, going on a date with a lesbian, like, takes the pressure off you when you go to do it with someone that you could sleep with. But it did. It let me just, like, be in the moment and just, like, enjoy her company, and then start seeing dates as just enjoying someone's company instead of having all the pressure that builds up to it and the expectation. So I've just started putting no expectation on dates, and it's going much better.
Yeah, because then, there's also that failure aspect, right? If you don't have much pressure or you don't have high expectations when it doesn't work out, it's not a big deal for you. You just.
That's why I advise building into your dates, starting with picnics before camping trips. Sort of like.
So apparently all of Ian's dates are outdoors.
Those are important if you're trying to establish yourself as a rugged man, But yeah. As I wear my scarf.
Besides like a picnic, and actually speaking on that, I did talk to a woman once, and really? She told me.
Sorry, that was a cheap one.
She told me that one of the best dates she ever had was. Guy came over to her place and had a picnic. He brought a picnic basket and a napkin and made like some tuna salad sandwiches or something like that. And
but not a first date.
Use that.
I was like anything but that sandwich. But yes, the rest I'm loving. I like his setup. But you guys would like picnics, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I love that.
I like it. See, Red, there's a good one. There's a really good one.
I think. I don't know if you guys want to put so much effort into the first one, or it depends on the two people. If they're like,
picnic is easy one.
Oh, really?
But is that why?
Yeah, you just need a blanket, a basket, cheese, crackers, strawberries, chocolate, and something to drink.
Oh, true. I guess you don't have to make sandwiches, right?
No, because the fact is, you're not going to be sitting there eating sandwiches while you're talking. You're going to be like. Having fruits and cheeses and little cute stuff.
And it's so cute. It's like, you put so much thought into it.
That's
really automatically like the person who did it.
That automatically leads to a second date.
I think so, unless if the guy says something really, really stupid.
Yeah. All right. So,
are we wrapping up?
It should also be a nice day. Don't do it on a poor day when the weather's not good.
Oh, so don't. It shouldn't be raining or snowing.
Yeah, probably not.
So besides picnic, what are some other suggestions to do? Because I just like I like to do things that are interactive, or at least I think interactive dates are the best ones, like bowling or like laser tag or stuff
something
where you're
fun.
Something fun, not like dinner where you're like, how's your chicken? Chicken's okay. How's your roast beef?
Yeah, that's the worst.
Bowling was fun. I did bowling, and that was always fun. And we also got really drunk, so that was, I think that was a huge plus.
But added to it.
That definitely added to it.
But like, what are you?
But I hate
as women. Are you guys wanting us to put like more effort into our creativity, into like what we do for a first date, or is like what's up? Like, what do you prefer?
For me personally, I think actually simple is better. Like, I don't mind like walking around like for example, the ROM or things that are more interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because for me, if it's like something super fancy for the first date, I would be like,
so too much pressure.
It'd be too much pressure. Be like,
You're
what's
tense.
going on? Yeah.
And the
You want
fancier it is, the
something
more
where
tense
you're
you get.
relaxed.
Yeah, more relaxed. Yeah.
And where there's not pressure on conversation all the time.
Yeah.
What I found recently is if there's pressure on conversation, if that is the focal point of the date, then that causes tension, even amongst two people who are pretty outgoing.
Yeah.
Like, I was on a date with an outgoing person, and we were speechless. Like, we both froze. And, I mean, it didn't help that the first thing she said in the date was, we shouldn't sit by the balcony, then we won't be looking at each other and we'll run out of things to talk about.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay, that's a great way to preface the next 2 hours of drinking.
Hilarious.
Okay. So that didn't lead to a third date. And I realized that could have led to a third date if it had been a more interactive date.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes you're blowing opportunities if you're just not giving yourself fun environments.
So what's the standard for you guys? How many dates before you guys are like, okay, you're my boyfriend now? What you thought we were hanging out for?
That depends on the situation.
On the person.
I mean, if you get to three dates, that's like
If you get to
if you get to 3 dates, right? That's almost a home run, right? Like this.
How long are these dates?
Yeah, and
what do you mean?
I recently, Red, I agree. I recently thought if you get to the third date and you're doing okay, you're probably in. But I recently got dumped after a fourth date, which is right at the end of that thought you had him territory. And that's where I realized I know nothing about this game. Yeah. And that any... I'm just kidding. No.
I was like, are you serious?
No, I thought things were pretty compatible, and then she ended after the fourth date. And so I think it can come at any time, but I do think those first few dates are kind of that critical, like, juggling. Yeah. There's we are not fully ourselves in those first few because we know that we're getting judged on things that we don't want to get judged on yet. Like, we know that if we're given more time, we can prove ourselves in certain areas, but we don't always get that.
Do you think that she knew that it wasn't going anywhere after the third date?
Or earlier?
Or she just kind of wasted your time?
No, I think I just blew it on I think I might have blown it on the fourth date.
Oh, what did you do?
What
did you do?
Okay, we're gonna pause this, and then he's gonna tell us.
Okay, I'm just gonna tap the microphone and pause it. Okay, yeah. So
don't pause it.
No, don't pause it. That was the pause
it.
it. That was a joke. I wasn't gonna pause it.
Oh.
No, I got too drunk at a Jays game, and then
I thought that was the first date.
That was we went to 2 Jays games.
Okay.
So
I think I just got too drunk.
that's like
the second
double dating
one.
almost,
I was
right?
shouting at the umpire and stuff.
Oh.
No, it wasn't that. I was just I was kind of just rambunctious in the outfield, and then we went home together and then spent the next day together, and she just was not into it the next day, where she just seemed very out of it. And I was like, you could have gone home after, like, you woke up in the morning. Like, you didn't have to hang out with me the next day if that you'd already made up your mind. But all that to say, it can happen at any time. And sometimes if a person doesn't know you well enough yet and you just have, like, a bad night, or you have a night that's, like, not quite that, like, best self that you were trying to put on, then, yeah, you can blow it pretty early on if a person has a quicker decision time on this sort of thing.
So let's go back, because I just thought about something. Let's go back a little bit, and let's go back to initial meeting, right? Getting the person's number. For women, what do you guys prefer if a guy is interested in you? Text, or would you like him to call you? I heard that's a big complaint. Like, women are always like, guys don't call.
Yeah.
Like, people back in the day.
Call.
I want to call.
You want to call?
Especially.
But you were surprised when the thought of a call.
Well, it depends.
This is just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a texter. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, I don't know. Calls is like, why are you calling? Like, for me, calls is like something more, like, deeper in the relationship, but not the first.
Really?
That's just me. I'm weird.
Really?
Okay, I'm a weird person.
But don't you feel like if it's a call, because I know with anybody, even if it's not dating, stuff gets lost in translation through text message, right? Because you can't really hear the emotion and the tone in a person's voice through a text message. Don't you think a phone call would clear all of that up and not make it as, like, give you as much anxiety?
Yeah. I don't know. I prefer text.
It depends. If I know the person from before, if I know you from before, then we can just text and go out. If I don't know you at all and we just exchange numbers on the street, online, whatever it is, I need to have a conversation with you before we waste each other's time. You know what I mean? So it depends on the situation.
Yeah. So
I know some people are totally against calling, which ended up in a really bad day.
Well, I just learned. I know you're kind of like in the minority here, Emma.
I know I'm weird.
No, girl, stand your ground.
Yeah.
No, but I just feel like what I've learned, like when I meet women, right, and I call them, they're more likely to call me more often.
Yeah.
I think because receiving a call is jarring.
Yeah.
I feel that way. Like, I mean, I would love to be called by a girl I'm interested in, but if I'm getting a call from her, that is the one situation where I am going to be like, what happened? She's something happened to her family? Is she bailing on me? Why is she calling?
I like phone calls because it's just like a personal touch now. You know what I mean? Like text message, mind you, it eliminates that ghosting effect almost, right? Like
you can't ghost a call.
You can't ghost a call. You could not answer a call, but if you answer, right, you can't be asked a question and then just be like, I'm not gonna.
It's funny. It's like we all know we got each other's texts, but we're all pretending like half the texts in the world don't make it to other people. It's like we all know they made it. They don't get lost.
That's true.
And all this, I didn't get your text or I missed your call. Your phone was on.
True. And I think it's unfortunate because when you text a lot or when people don't text you back, you know that their phone is in their hand. Like, you know that they're looking at something. Because if you go on the subway.
That's part of ghosting, man. You know you're there.
I know.
But if you go on the subway or whatever, you look at people, even walking up the street, people are into their phones, right? Yeah. Like, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter.
Yeah, I've noticed
their
that.
Emails are all, like, it's right there. And it's like, what's up? Why you not texting me back? Like, I know you got your phone because we live in a society where we lose our shits if we can't have our phone. Like, if I can't find my keys in the morning, fine. If I can't find my phone, like, I'm going crazy. Like, I need my phone. So I know, like, what's the reasoning behind ghosting? Is it just because people don't want to respond?
You know what? The only justification for ghosting is if you are ghosting someone, you better be looking up from your phone, interacting with all the people in the real world.
So I think,
and you better be. I hope you're ghosting me because you're on a date. I hope you're ghosting me because you're. I sure as hell hope you're not ghosting me while you're looking at your phone.
But then again, because I read some of Aziz Ansari's book, Modern Romance, and he talks about how you can be having this great conversation with somebody. It's cool. As soon as you ask for like pizza, it's like they're ghosting you. Like they're like, uh-oh, shit just got real.
And what was his theory on why they do that?
You know what? I haven't read the whole book yet, so
we're gonna have to have a part 2.
So we're definitely gonna have a part, and we're gonna.
Really, I thought we just did part 2 because this was our second hour.
I know.
Topic. So I'm pretty sure we just did the encyclopedia, top to bottom.
So, I mean, obviously, we can. I wanted to read the book before this, but I just didn't have the time.
I've read this prologue.
Mm-hmm. The prologue was great.
Yeah, that's about as much as I can muster as well because I'm not a reader, but it looks like a really good book, though.
It is. Well, from the prologue I read, of course.
No, I think he touches base on a lot of things that we're feeling, where the flakiness of it all is just so frustrating because we're all calling each other out for being flaky, but we're all big hypocrites because we're a product of the system.
No, because I was asking what the reason for ghosting is, and I can give you, from me, why I wouldn't text you back. I'll give you 3 reasons. 1, I'm probably at work and I'm just focused on what I'm doing. I just don't have the time to respond.
That was me shaking my head. He never focuses at work. Okay, on to point 2. Let's see if it's even legit.
2 is like, sometimes this happens all the time with me. It's like I'll be texting them back and then I'll get a phone call. And a phone call covers up the whole screen. And now I've been distracted from attempting to. And then reply.
You don't go back to the text.
Then I forget that I was even texting, because for some reason with the iPhone, it won't even, once you're done mind you, this might turn into an hour conversation. Once you get off the phone, it doesn't go back to that text screen. Sometimes it'll go back to the home screen. So by that time, I'll completely forget that I was supposed to text that person back. The third reason is I just don't know what to say sometimes.
That makes sense. And then you forget.
And then I forget.
That actually has happened.
Or not even that. Sometimes I thought I sent a message. And then I go back and I was like, this message is still here sitting in my...
I think some guys use that particular excuse and I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I'm going to call bullshit on that because any girl you're thinking about, you're going to go back to that text conversation and see where it's at. Oh, I forgot to send that message.
Exactly.
But then maybe he thinks it's too late.
I think sometimes I agree with you, except for the fact if you're like texting a whole lot of people, getting a lot of messages at a time and you're trying to respond to them as soon as possible. Sometimes people can get left out.
You just got to prioritize your girl, man. No, that's me. That's me simplifying it. I know what you're saying. I think you can lose the momentum of conversations when you're trying to maintain them purely over a texting basis. Texting is really easy. It helps us frame our conversations and get to know people over time and like kind of put the conversation at our own pace. But if you're spending more time on that and you're not getting the face-to-face, it's going to it's its steam. It's like out of sight, out of mind. You're not going to be able to keep the flame going of a text conversation. That's hard.
It's easier to do, right? It's easier to send a text to somebody because you can send it. Honestly, with me, sometimes I send text messages to people and I forget that I even text them.
Because it's not coming out of your mouth.
Right.
Like, that's what I mean is like if you're not having to physically say it out of your mouth to a person's face and face their reaction, then you're not going to get the same thing out of it. And you're going to keep just repeating the motions because you are. And that's how you're getting on
Mind you,
with them,
if it's text, you have more time to think of a proper response.
Sure, I think that's why.
Whereas if you're in person and you're like, and they'll be like, what's up?
Then you get nervous.
And that's totally normal.
Caught in their eyes.
Yeah. It happens. Yeah. You know, I think.
I talk about ghosting still.
Oh no, I'm just talking about like freezing.
No,
freezing.
Yeah. So Emma, you prefer text because you don't like people calling you. And
I think it's very serious, but I'm a weird person. But yeah.
Well, I mean, don't you think it's like a much more like if the person is a good conversationalist, would it matter? Like I remember I called you last week when we were doing kind of prep for the show.
But I'm saying I don't mind phone calls. Like if we're deeper in the whole relationship situation, like if it's then I don't mind that. But like if it's like I'm getting ready for the first date and then you call, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like okay, like I don't know. Just I'm weird. Like it just puts more pressure on me.
So wait. Does that diminishes the guy's value if he calls you?
It makes me more nervous. That's just how it is. Yeah, it's just
to hear a voice.
No, I think I'm the type of person to not want to get on a phone with someone until I've already learned the cadence of their voice and like how the conversation would look.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But now that being said, you also said you like to have a conversation with someone before you meet them, because I do think that's important too. You want to pick up kind of their energy, so that's you do need that first initial conversation. I think that's important. But yeah, like you're saying, like when I'm first getting to know someone and setting up a date, I'm doing it mostly over text, and I'm not like calling this person, being like, "How's your day going?" They're like, "Wait, we haven't met yet." Like, let's do this.
And these are people that you've met online, or you've met? How have you met these people?
I guess it would be like the person I met online, because then if I already met, then I don't have that whole thing. But if it's like a person that I haven't met yet, so it's most likely it's online, then I'd be like, like I need to see you first before like the calling. I'm just alright.
Well,
we're all different strokes, different folks.
I guess it is different, but I think maybe text messaging, maybe technology has diminished the value of a phone call. You know, because there was one time. Forget phone calls. There were times people had to write letters.
What? You mean like email, right?
No. Write letters and then send it Pigeon Express, to get to somebody. And that could be weeks.
Telegraphs or whatever.
Telegrams and things like that. And maybe technology has spoiled us when it comes to dating.
Oh, for sure. Technology has spoiled a lot of people, I feel like.
Because, I don't mind texting, but sometimes I get to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm tired of texting. I'm just going to call you.
Yeah.
Because, mind you,
easier.
You can relay more
That's
thoughts.
Why you two aren't dating.
Exactly.
That's not exactly why.
Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry, I pit you against both of them. We should talk about our deep connection.
Work.
Our co-worker connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's non-existent. So,
no, he's kidding. He's actually a great wingman.
Aww.
And when I say wingman, I mean that in the most honorable way possible. This guy will walk with me to have conversations with smart, pretty women, and then he pats me on the back and says, "Good job. You were so great."
That's right.
They really like you, even though they don't. He's just always pumping me up. Yeah, because he knows that even if they didn't like me, if he says they do, that my spirits will be up.
Yeah.
Well,
that's sweet.
That's very nice.
That is partially true. So
I don't know what to say.
So thank you, Red.
I didn't know how to respond. I really don't know how to respond to that. So I
can totally see you being a good wing person.
Well, I don't like being the wing person because usually the wing guy doesn't get the girl.
So I tried to be your wing person one day.
When?
At some event, but then I don't know. I forgot. Okay.
It has to be a guy.
It has to be a guy. Guys, listen, the problem with a wingman, so I guess we should get into this, is when a wingman is a woman, it works sometimes and it doesn't work sometimes, right? Because it works because the women can initiate the conversation with the woman, and that makes the woman more comfortable to talk to you. It doesn't work because then there's also the guys that want to hit on your friend that's the wingman, and so now you gotta combat that too, right?
Wait, sorry, I just lost my image of the bar, how this is working right now. Can you paint the picture? You've got your wing woman. Oh, I see.
If you guys can see all the hand motions Ian is making right now.
This is the issue, is that if you're a man and you've got a wing woman supporting you, you know deep in your heart that you also have to be looking out for her, because she's not going to just be out there on her own, just wingmanning you. Once she does her job and gets you talking with another girl, then she's there having to enjoy herself that night too. Right. She's not just out there to watch you just spit stupid stuff in girls' face and say dumb things and blow it. She wants to have a fun time too. So you realize, I should probably keep an eye on her because I'm a good friend too, and we're supporting each other. And then you've got to watch all these dumb idiots walk up to her one by one, just be like, "Hey, I love this song. I love this song. Don't you love this song?" And she's looking over would you just please seal the deal and figure it out with this woman, get her number so you and I can just go avoid all these silly people at the bar. And before you know it, you struck out, and she struck out, and the both of you are just going back, being like, should we really just be friends, or could we be friends with friends? And then you start thinking, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe you and I are just really meant for each other, and we all just keep coming out to the bar, kidding ourselves, thinking that we're each other's women and wingmen, but maybe we're just each other's wings. And then you two you have that moment where you're just, you've left the bar and you're having your drunk food and you're sitting on the corner on a park bench or the curb if it's really, if you're really low.
I'm just telling the story.
And you just look at each other and it happens.
I think you should,
You should definitely
write a children's book.
Yeah. Screw the guy who wrote the Notebook and whatever else he wrote. You should do your own thing.
Sex, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would work.
So,
romance.
That's not where I was
Modern
going.
romance right there.
But to ignore everything Ian said, I think when you go with your guys, when you have good male friends, they give you a better sense of confidence than having a wing woman would do. So then it's much easier to approach women.
I want to disagree.
You want to?
But I'm just the type to have a lot of close female friends already in my life. So I think whoever your closest friends are, whoever knows you best, they're going to give you the most confidence because they're going to tell you the things that they know about you that are good, and they're going to reaffirm those things. You have this confidence. You can talk to this person. The person that knows you is your best wing woman. because they're ultimately going to know how to get you out of that nervous state. Because what's a wing woman or a wingman do? They're the one that gets you like to take the lead, right?
Well, I think
they're not there coaching you in your ear the whole time. They're the one being like, "Have you met?" or like, "Go do it." Like, so you just need someone that like knows you.
I think there are advantages to both, right? Like what I said with the male wingman, they give you that better sense of confidence, but the women wingman give you
more sensible advice. Yeah, it's like there's probably a group of guys would give me overblown confidence to the point where I would go talk to a woman, and I could say a lot of things. But if a woman talks to me and says, "Ian, you should go talk to that girl," and then tells me why and everything I should say and why I should say it, then I probably go have a very pleasant conversation with her and end up having a good chance.
I was getting to that, yes. When a woman, like my best friend is a female, and she will give me all of like the insider information. You know, like there are certain things that she would tell me, don't talk to a woman unless you guys made eye contact, right? Bam, I know that. Don't just come to a woman behind her. Like that is always very bad way to approach a woman. Just be like, tap. What's up, girl? Right. What you doing? You know? So like, you know these things, right? And then it's easier because a woman can tell you like the insider stuff that you may not know unless you've had a lot of practice doing it. Even if you have a lot of practice, right?
Well, she's going to pick up on the other woman's body language.
For sure.
Pretty quickly, too.
For sure.
Because we can't do that.
I mean,
we don't know. I mean, we go up to women on the street and they give us cowering looks and we still go, "Hey, baby."
This is Toronto, so, you know, you're going to get those looks regardless, no matter what happens.
So are we ragging on Toronto guys or Toronto women now?
Both
still? Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
But
that we're still the worst city in the province.
But I guess this whole thing was not to bash Toronto women.
I thought it was. No, not what. Oh, shoot! I really thought you were going to say Toronto people there, and I could go with that, but you just made me sound like I did just bash Toronto women with you.
Well,
Toronto women, as a whole, I think, are the most beautiful, smart, sensible women on the planet, and I haven't figured them out yet, and that's why I feel so silly every day.
Well, we've already said a million times, Toronto women, they're so beautiful, they're so educated,
so complex,
they're so, career-oriented, but they look so damn unhappy when you see them walking up the street, man. Like, they just look like, they have a term for the face you see. Like, they just look mad.
Screw face.
Like,
bitch face?
Is that it? The resting bitch face. I'm not calling them bitches. You called them that. But
it's resting bitch, resting bitch face.
But the face.
Stank face.
I can tell you, stank face. It's definitely a discouraging face, especially when a woman is beautiful and you're like, oh man, that girl that woman is very attractive. I want to talk to her. And then you see that face and you're like, actually, never mind.
Can I argue one point? Just one. I just want to argue one thing tonight.
Just one thing? One more thing.
Certain girls who... This is the last thing I'm saying today. Certain girls look better when they don't smile.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa. Like 3% of women.
3% of.
It's like 3% of dudes were meant to like only have like this face, you know? Like
nobody can see that face on the radio.
I was making a model face, like blue steel.
He was
like
smizing for all you China
Zoolander.
Like, I don't mean like what just women. Like a lot of people. I'm sorry. I have just been given the opportunity to rant about everything.
We're not inviting you back.
I thought we lost track of this episode about an hour ago. I thought that's why we were allowed to go rogue.
Oh my gosh. And I had more questions, but I want to go home.
Oh, you do?
I want to go home soon.
Yeah, it's actually not every single question was answered, but we've been here for a while.
All right.
Well, okay, continue. Just finish up.
I have no clue what I was talking about.
Something about smiling.
The point is, some girls don't smile all the time. Don't take it as them being upset. They just might not be smiling.
But I just kind of want to hear your argument about...
why some people... Well, like, some people, like, a smile doesn't look better on them because it would be fake. And asking a girl to smile or asking a guy to smile.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or
like a stranger telling someone to smile.
Or expecting a smile in a situation where you would smile and then not getting a smile in return is we're always expecting that. Like maybe it's not always
every day walking up the street.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we sometimes think we get cold reactions, but maybe they're not always cold. And maybe it's just that person's having a bad day, or their look means something different to them.
All right, so what's your questions, Allison, so we can...
wrap it up?
Yeah.
Just to kind of... I was going to say something else. Crap. Oh, yeah, a happy woman is a pretty woman. So, not to like... sorry, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say.
No, because you thought...
Not I think... Yeah.
So next time on the Young Pros Talk podcast, Allison remembers her question.
You said they look better. Okay. What?
No. Yeah, originally I did say, some women look better when they don't smile. I probably said that. Okay. And I think what I meant by that was that some people... No, yeah, that did. That's a pretty...
It's okay.
Yeah. Some people... just aren't smilers.
Yeah.
And like they look best in whatever like
it's
mood
true
they're
and authentic.
in when they're not being forced to
exactly. And you can't control somebody else's
So
emotion.
when they do smile, like does that make them less attractive?
No,
not if it's genuine.
No, exactly. So
but what I a fake smile.
But sometimes you're in a situation where you're meeting someone for the first time and you're expecting a smile. Why not rather get their genuine reaction than like a fake forced smile or something that, this has been a lot of what we've been talking about is how like we want people to be genuine but not too harsh on us because we're nice and all this.
Right.
But what's the
we have feelings?
What's the perfect blend of honest and nice? Like I think that's...
I agree. I totally agree. My question was going to be, does having children, if a woman has children or a man has children, does that turn you on or away?
Wow, that's a great question. I wish that came up earlier.
I know, because I really want to.
I think it depends on the age.
I think it.
Single moms are a huge turn on for me.
Turn on.
Turn on. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I think.
But I always just assume they're a single
I got in
mom
trouble
if I don't see the husband, which is bad because then I'm always like, oh, is there a husband?
You just got to look at the finger, right? Look at the ring finger.
Yeah,
I don't believe.
I don't know.
Sometimes they take off the ring.
Yeah,
true. Well, I got in trouble for this before by my best friend, and I told her that I didn't want to date any woman that had children already. Mm-hmm. Which, in retrospect, is probably not the best thing to say to a woman that has a daughter and you're the godfather to the daughter. But I mean, it's. For me, I just think I was thinking more so like I don't know. That's a big responsibility.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when you become, I think a lot of people date people that have children and think that child is not important to the overall thing.
It's so important,
and it's so important to build a relationship with that child if you're planning to have a long-time relationship with that woman or man. Mm-hmm. So I think. A lot of times that it's like, do you want to come into the situation? Mind you, on top of that, there's usually baby mama drama, you know what I mean? Baby daddy drama that you don't want to be a part of and that you'll end up being a part of somehow because now you're dating this person, so it's really hard to say, but I think that depends on who you are, right? But like I said, you have to build the relationship with the child too, because I experienced this where a person comes in and they're dating the parent and like there's no respect for the kid. I mean, there's no respect. They have nothing to do with this whole arrangement. They're just a means to an end and they're just here. You know what I mean? And I think when you have a relationship where you respect the child and you build that relationship, the kid likes you more. And when the kid likes you, the woman or the parent is more willing to be like, you know what, this could be something that could work out for us because he has respect for my son or daughter. They hang out. The kid likes them. That's a big step. But I mean, when you're somebody who doesn't have any kids, and there's usually a reason for that, right? and then you're dating someone that has a kid or a kid. Are we talking about one kid or two here?
I mean,
because when it's plural, it gets a little complicated.
What? Say that again.
When it's more than one kid, it gets a little more complicated.
Well, yeah, but even just one child, I think, is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
But then
it's a long term.
But then I also think, sorry to cut you off.
It's okay.
Where is that man or woman in their life, right? Mm-hmm. Like, where are they as far as professionally, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because that's a big factor too. Because you don't want to really date, because we're all fairly educated people, and we all have our different industries, and you don't want to date a woman that has kids, but is in a situation that really she can't really support the kid. You know what I mean? Or I guess it's a two-way street, because obviously you expect the father or mother to be there as well. But I mean, it depends on where their mindset.
Well, I mean, if you jump into a relationship where you want to be an equal parent and you want to be supporting the kids the way their mother does, in this case, then you want to be able to give your time there too. So if she is a professional and she's taking care of her kids but also working, then you realize that whatever work she's doing in a professional life, you're going to then take up you're going to carry the load with the kids in the way that when you're at work and she's got the opportunity to look after the kids, she would. So I think if you're going to hop into it and really embrace the relationship, I think for myself, I would want to feel like I'm the kid's father without asking for their love in that way. Like I wouldn't expect them to love me like they would a father, but like I would put in the effort that a father does, because no man that enters in a relationship with a woman who has kids should not be acting like a father.
Yeah, totally.
Right. I agree with that. So I guess basically, whatever the situation is, if you're a man, I'm only going to talk from the man perspective, and you really like this woman, she has a kid, you need to suck that shit up and do what you got to do to make sure you can build a bond with both of them. So if you really want something serious to go from that. Yeah. But I don't know I know, Allison, you asked the question, but how do you ladies feel about dating a guy that has a kid already?
I feel the same as personally. I feel the same as you do, just because it's such a huge responsibility and I can't take that on. But I think that's great advice that you did lend, is that if you are interested in somebody, you have to suck your shit up and be responsible enough to play that role. Right? So, again, I mean,
the expert, I think a lot of men sometimes will have, oh my God, I have to be the guy's father or the kid's father. But
then they're not the right person.
I mean, if you have to think about it, if you really want to be with this woman, if this woman is an amazing person, then she will outline what she expects from you as far as regarding her child. And you just got to respect that. Yeah. But like I said, I think a lot of people come into relationships, and it's historically proven, that a lot of men become aggressors against the children because of different scientific reasons. Even in like animal culture, a lot of animals, if like in a lion society, if the male lion dies, one of the things they'll do, they'll kill the cubs. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that type of animal programming is in humans too, and it comes out. But like I said, I'm just from the man's perspective. Yeah. You ladies, take it.
Me? Personally, I'd rather not. However, realistically, as you get older, you are going to, maybe meet someone who was married before or who does have children. And I think it really depends on the situation. I would definitely, obviously, take your advice if I'm really interested in a guy and I think he's the one and he's just happened to have children. Like, I would make sure I have a relationship with the children, as in addition to their father. But also, it really depends. I can also not be with a guy who has, it's one thing to have one ex with, children, but if you have multiple exes with multiple children, then I
think that's understandable, because I think at that point, I'm not going to do that. I think at that point, if that happens, then that's just like, you can't consider that person to be a responsible person if they're having all these children with all of these different men and women. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, well, where do I fit in where all these, you got 7 kids and 4 different guys.
But you'd be surprised about how that happens. Yeah. It happens a lot.
Well, I think sometimes mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like we live in a world where there's a million ways to not get pregnant, and you only need to use like 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So as long as you're practicing the safe sex, more than likely you won't have any unexpected children, And then if you come to the point where you have multiple children unexpectedly, then,
you're irresponsible.
There's just poor planning.
Yeah.
It's just poor planning. So what were you going to say?
Well, yeah, I was going to say maybe they weren't all mistakes, but sometimes they are mistakes. Like the children. like just because you have multiple children with multiple husbands doesn't mean every child was a mistake.
No, I wasn't expecting this from multiple husbands. I mean, just like...
That was the big hypothetical that we drew out again, where there was like, this was like a multiple steps.
We need to get up more.
I'm just
we're
saying.
drawing up all these hypotheticals.
Yeah, it's Saturday night.
No, because I think why I think where it comes why it's like if you're having a bunch of children, it's different. I guess it's different if it's like 2 children from the same person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's different.
But
Yeah.
like when it's like several children from several different people,
it's gonna be problematic.
then that can be an issue.
Yeah.
But like I said, both parties play a role in that. And I think sometimes we have a habit of when that happens, either blaming the man too much or blaming the woman too much. And the reality is both to blame, both at fault, for whatever
Either way,
decisions they decided to make.
I'm just not.
But yeah, I mean, I understand. Where you don't. It's like I said, it's a lot harder because you don't have to just live up to that man or woman's expectation. You have to live up to their children's expectations too, because they're gonna be an integral part of your life, and you're gonna be an integral part of their life. So you have to make sure that there's a relationship that is built off respect, and it should definitely come from the person that's dating. I think sometimes a lot of adults think that children should just respect them because they're adults, but it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You have to be able to respect that child. I mean, when you respect the child, usually they naturally respect you back.
Well, they clue in pretty quick. Kids are smart.
Yeah. Kids are really smart. We don't give them enough credit. I mean, obviously, because of how the brain develops, they don't have the intellect that an adult would have. But I mean, they understand. You know when you don't like somebody your mom or dad is dating.
They're very
You know what I mean?
instinctive.
They're very. Kids know when there's not a good person. You know what I mean? So, and you can feel that.
Certainly.
So, that's a great question, Allison.
Sweet.
I guess we're gonna wrap this
Yeah.
up.
Can I just say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think a great first date is sushi.
Sushi.
That is a good one.
Yeah,
Or
I
like
sushi.
doing something like, some kind of exotic food that, it's not like super over the top,
But
but
the ordering will be fun.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like
Exactly,
Korean
like trying
barbecue
things and
kind
like
of
thing.
sharing.
I've
That's
never
really
had
good.
Korean
Yeah.
barbecue.
Korean barbecue would be good because you get to,
Y'all can take me to Korean barbecue. I have never been.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love that.
I'm talking about dates.
I'm just saying.
Dates, parties, friendships.
This can be a friend date.
Yeah,
Just
Ian's gonna take us
me.
all.
Take me.
Yeah.
So,
And I think I had one more thing to say. Shit, I forgot it.
It's okay. Probably in the podcast 4. We're gonna.
so this is definitely gonna have to be split up between like 4
Yeah.
weeks or something. So, anyways, thank you guys for joining me, Emma again. Thanks for joining. Ian again.
Thanks for inviting me.
Allison, thanks for joining. So you can always follow Young Pros Talk. You can go to our website if you want to learn more, or you can like us on Facebook, Young Pros Talk, or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Young Pros Talk. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Have a great day.